Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds. Now then, folks, I hope you're all doing well. Oh, dreading tomorrow. I cannot be bothered with work. The weekends are flown by. But yeah, we're here to talk about the defeat to Tottenham Hotspur. And let's be fair, whatever you guys want to talk about in the chat. So let's have a good old chinwag as we do on here. Yes, very good day yesterday by the result. Really enjoyed it. If anyone's watched my vlog, I'm sure you'll have seen that. If you haven't watched my match day vlog, go back and watch it. Shows you what Mr. AG provided us, which was, a little bit of a look into how the other half live. I won't lie. I felt a little bit out, like a fish out of water, but brilliant. Tell you what, that top end hospitality is it's incredible. And if everyone can maybe just do it once in a lifetime, it's well worth it. I'd love to be able to do it again, but there's no way I can afford that level of match day ticket. That's a fact. No chance. But yeah, maybe AG will treat me again. He said he had a good day, so hopefully, hopefully he'll do it again. But yeah, brilliant day. Result was a little bit gutting, but wasn't shocked to obviously lose that game. Did we deserve more? Yeah, 100% we deserved more than a loss. I think a fair result may have been a draw, but I actually think we edged it. I think we were the better side. I think it's a load of bull, a load of BS. What Thomas Frank had said, saying they controlled most of it, bar a couple of moments, which again I think is BS. I think XG, which whether you're an XG merchant or not, I'm not unless it fits and suits, so then I'll use it. I think we were 1.56 expected goals. They were less. 0.45, 0.5. So, we were definitely creating the better chances. They looked very threatening at times without really causing us much trouble or causing Darlow much trouble, caused the defensive line a lot of trouble, to be fair, but without causing Darlow much trouble, apart from on a few occasions. But I do think we were well worthy of at least a draw, if not shading it for a win. But these things happen, dropping points to the likes of Fulham, Bournemouth, Tottenham. Let's be fair, out of the 7 sides we've played, who's the side who we think is going to be down and around us if we are going to be in that bottom 5, bottom 6? It's going to be Wolves, and we're beating them. The other 6 sides we've played, you could say are all above that, and I'd say that's a fair assumption. They're all going to be way above that relegation zone. The next 2 are a massive test for us. Burnley and West Ham, 4 points minimum for me is what I'd be looking for. But 6 are gettable. 3 is not a disaster. Anything less than 3, and it starts feeling a bit negative again. But 2 winnable games coming up, and 2 games are back us to get at least 4 to 6 points in those games. So yeah, lost to Tottenham at Elland Road doesn't define a season. I was just dead proud of effort, dead proud of little glimpses of quality I see. The fight, the endeavour, watching a game of football at Elland Road, watching your team play in a game like this against some. Don't get me wrong, they're not world class players. It's not like when we got beat by Spurs and got relegated 3 years ago. That Harry Kane and Son. They don't feel like that Tottenham, but they're a very well coached side with some really really good players in there. So you can't be too downhearted when you're seeing Xavi Simons and. Kudos, let's be fair, Kudos, what best player I've seen Elland Road play for the last 2 seasons now, 2 and a bit seasons. By some distance as well. Great player, him. And I think he was the difference maker. But let's be fair, let's not be too harsh. 2 deflected goals did us on there. 2 deflected goals. So a little bit unlucky. Rodon should have scored. A lot of people going on about Calvert-Lewin's chance, which felt a massive chance wasted. But I do think the best chance that we missed was it felt as Joe Rodon for that header from that deep free kick from from Sean Longstaff. I think Rodon should have done better with that. The keeper's totally misjudged it, and he's got all the net to aim at. And unfortunately for him, it's a post. But I think that was the biggest missed chance we had. Fell to Rodon, and yeah, the way he's playing at the minute, I'm surprised that didn't nestle in the back of net. But yeah, anyway, that's a bit of waffle from me to get started. Let's see what the chat's saying. Says, hey up mate, hope you're well. Alice Cocker, even though we both lost, Matty took the 3 points as he met by Mandy Dingle. Good old Mandy Dingle. Lisa Riley, she's also known, believe it or not. I think AG actually called her Mandy. Mandy, sorry, I know it's not your real name, but hi Mandy. Quite funny. Rubbing shoulders with celebs, people will be stopping for your selfies soon. Yeah. You know what the funny thing was, Dave? There's no lie as well. We sat down eating, and she walked past and we saw like the side of her face as she walked into ladies. It was just the side of us. And I went, oh, bloody hell, it's her from Emmerdale. And I went, oh, it's Lisa Riley, yeah. No way. And it's a funny story because in March, I look back on my TikTok message in March, I had a message off Lisa Riley on my TikTok. Just she sent it to me. I've never spoken to her before. Since she'd like one of my posts, and she literally sent me a message, really funny or great content or something. Hope you're well. March on together, and I was like, wow, no way. Messaged her back, oh, thank you, couldn't believe it. And then she messaged me again. I was like, sound that was like March. And I told my dad, I went, Dad, Lisa Riley's messaged me from Emmerdale. They're like, really? Oh, wow, no way. That's it, as if that's happened. The next morning, she'd been on This Morning or Loose Women or something. We're talking about fake accounts, fake social media accounts. And my dad, I don't want to sound a dick, but my dad, my stepdad, he is actually. But I feel like sometimes he plays down some of my, I say achievements, but I don't know. Do you know what I mean? And he sent me this link where it says, yeah, she's, and I opened it and she would talk about his scam accounts and that there's loads of them on pretending to be her. I went fucked off. And I'm like, if you sent me that, I was on cloud nine that Lisa Riley messaged me. Guess what? I got to message him back yesterday. Fuck you, Dad. It was Lisa Riley who messaged me because she literally came out women's toilets, looked straight at me and went, Imagine Not Being Leeds. I follow you on TikTok. It's Matty, innit? And I went, oh my God, yeah, it is Lisa. And she actually recognised me first. Unbelievable. Had a picture with me and then we asked for a picture and unbelievable. Literally unbelievable. Lisa Riley actually knows who I am. Through TikTok, she don't sit here and watch me talk for 2 hours, I'm sure, at 10 o'clock at night. But he introduced us to her sons and her husband, and then obviously got into her seats and she was sat the seat right behind me. So as you've seen, if you watch the vlog, I got a score prediction, got her in a few in goal as well. And lovely lady. You know, when you meet someone in public eye, you always hope they're like they are on screen, or you know, like you'd wish them to be. And she's lovely. And then she messaged me afterwards as well, saying, it was lovely to meet me. Yeah, unbelievable. Lisa Riley thinks I'm funny, and yeah, classmate. Sorry to go on about that, but yeah, it was a bit of a wow moment that for me. You know, a few people noticed me at game now and again, which is unreal, and I love chatting to people. Obviously, I've seen a bloke called Kershaw I've met a few times in Peacock. I love chatting Leeds with people who watch show as well, you know. But it was a surreal moment for Lisa bloody Riley, Mandy Dingle to, yeah, it was class. But yeah, it was a bit of a pinch me moment for me. Fucking silly bugger out. But top banana, evening all these that week, MOT, but tickle those likes from that. Yeah, please smash a like on if you are in here, and please subscribe if you're new here. Thank you very much. Hi Matty. Did you have a quick haircut? Yeah, honestly, it was class. Not Leeds related, but thank you, whoever is in charge, that Russell Mine has been sacked from Rangers. It was going to happen, pal. It was going to happen. Angela, Angela, hope you're well. Evening all. We sure do deserve to be sat on more points than we are, but that's it. You know, you don't want to keep saying it every week, Angela. We played well, we deserve more, and not getting the points. Eventually, that becomes a problem. But right now, we're playing so well, and we've still got a decent amount of points. I keep hearing this stat of no side with 11 points after 10 games has gone down. We've still got 3 games to get that, that one win, what will take us to 11 points. And I know Leeds are great at sort of being the first one to do something ridiculous. But I mean, Sunderland are currently on that now after 7. Does that mean they're safe? You'd say not at this stage, but it's sort of a great little milestone to sort of aim for. If we can get to 11 points, it's a massive possibility we beat Burnley that first game back. Has to be a game we target to win that. We get, if we get 3 points at Burnley, that'd be 11 points after 8, which technically means nothing. But that is a good benchmark to say usually, however many percentage of the time, a high percentage of the time, if not all the time, I'm not too sure on the on the exact figure, but I'm pretty sure I've heard people say pretty much all the time, if you get 11 points after 7 games, 10 games, sorry, even, you are going to stay up. So to the fact we're only 1 win away from there with 3 sort of in the locker still, and I think 2 of them are winnable. And Brighton don't feel, an absolute no hoper either, to be honest. So I'm fairly confident we're going to get maybe 6 points at least out of those next 3 games. So that put us, way above that margin. So I'm absolutely buzzing with how things are going at the minute. Yeah, a bit disheartened with, the fact that we could be on maybe 2-3 more points than we are currently, but it's what I'm saying, it lads, bar Arsenal, take the Arsenal out of the way, like we always say. I've been that one, that didn't happen. I'm really happy what we're seeing. You've noticed now, though, in order to score and get, look a little bit more likely in front of goal, we've had to give up a little bit back. I don't feel like we've, there's been a massive switch there where, oh my God, we're wide open all of a sudden. At Spurs, there were times we were a little bit, but, against Bournemouth, I don't feel like we're getting cut open all the time. But in terms of, you're looking at the numbers, we are conceding goals now. That's 4 goals conceded in the last 2. Calibre at teams we've played. But you can flip that as well and go, yeah, but 2 of them were set piece and 2 of them were deflected goals, which I'm totally on that bandwagon, by the way. That's the notion I'm sort of pushing. But the facts how we've conceded, we've started scoring now. That's 6 goals in 3 games, but we've let 4 in there, in 5 there in 3. So all of a sudden we're conceding more now. So yeah, can we get that? Can we tighten up a little bit more? I'd like to see a clean sheet at Burnley. I'd like to see a clean sheet against West Ham. They're 2 really good games to get some points on board, keep that goal scoring form up, which it feels like, we can score goals now. That's not an issue. But can we get that big fat 0 next to opposition name for the next 2 games? I think we can. I do think we need a clean sheet in the next couple, 100%. Yeah, too right. See you later, Russell Martin. Remember when you were celebrating at Wembley not so long ago? Yeah, you tool. Thought we played well, but must get better. Yeah, finishing. When you say that, are you talking about one player in particular, Calvert-Lewin? I've got plenty to talk about Calvert-Lewin, but yeah, we'll get into it soon. Don't want to put down on things, but down to 15th. Cracks are there, we can't paint over. Andy, what cracks are? What cracks? Would you take 17th now, Andy? Most people are saying we'll take 17th. To finish 17th, everybody, yeah, which honestly, everybody's saying we might finish 17th. I'd take 17th. I'd be happy with 17th. I'd be buzzing with 17th. To finish 17th, you don't sit in 9th all season, then drop to 17th on game week 38. If you finish 17th, you're 15th, 16th, 17th, maybe 18th. Up. You're in that window the whole time. So the fact we're in 15th, it's probably where we should be. Probably where we should be and where people would have expected us to be, Andy. But look at 1 win and we were. 1 win and we, if we'd have won at weekend, we'd have been 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, in that top 10 comfortably. If we beat Burnley, we'll be up there again. Got 2 great games. I look at the fixtures we've played, Andy. Don't let them phase you. We've lost to Arsenal. We're always going to lose to Arsenal. Lost away at Fulham. We don't win in London. We know that. And Fulham's a tough game. Drawn to Bournemouth and lost to Tottenham at home. Is there any games there where you look at go, we should be winning them games? There isn't. But the fact we're 15th don't look nice, Andy. It doesn't. But it's where we probably should be. It's probably where we should be. If you're happy with 17th, if everybody's happy with 17th, which all I keep hearing is we are, then we're where we probably should be. What I'm seeing, the eye test when I'm, watching the football, honestly, nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. Now, lose to Burnley, don't beat West Ham, and we'll have a discussion. Because then we will be in bottom 3, potentially, won't we, if we lose both of them games. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The side's got way too much for that. Lovely to see Archie give his top to a young. Yeah, it was, Angela. Don't expect all less than him. Really don't. In the next 3 games, we need to make sure we get at least. Yeah, you said that to me at Boozer, didn't you? Like I say there, Senior Peacock. I'd love to meet you and your mate again, Kershaw. Yeah, I think 3 points out of the next 3 probably isn't enough in my eyes. I think. But then again, I think 4 would be. 4 would be all right, I suppose. But I do think there's honestly a massive possibility we can get at least 7. I think we win the first 2 and we can get a draw at Brighton. Might sound wild, but yeah, I feel like that's on cards, me, Kershaw. But when you say get 3 points for me, that Burnley game, you don't want it to, you don't want to lose at Burnley. Obviously, you don't want to lose any game. But I think Burnley's the one. Just win that one and then we can assess game by game. I don't want to be a case of lose, and then win the Brighton game. I think it can spiral quite negative pretty quickly, Kai, with a couple of losses to sides we should be beating, which I would put the next two in that bracket. And when you look at, I mean, I definitely said it. I don't know about other content creators or just fans in general, but I definitely said, Forest are going to struggle this year. Wolves, Burnley, West Ham. You look at the sides who are down there now. It's everyone I tipped at Brentford. They're all the teams that are below us. So I ain't worried. Kershaw's like, we're a little bit more worried before seeing like a Villa below us and a Scum below us, because I kind of think naturally they probably finish higher than us. But I'm looking now where it is, and we're probably where we should be. The way we've played and, the teams we've played, we probably should be higher based on what we've seen. But we're probably where we probably sort of should be for where people thought we'd be. But I'm happy to see the teams I predict to be down there, they're actually down there. And the few of them I don't think are going to get out of it. So, rather than looking down table and thinking like I won a few weeks ago, well, they are going to stay there. And I'm looking now and thinking, yeah, that is what I predicted. That's pretty much the exact 4 or 5 teams I said are struggle. And obviously we're probably in that category. I don't think we are now, if I'm honest. I don't think we finish 15th. I think there's a chance we could finish 14th, 13th, 12th. I think we are, injuries aside, if we keep a fit 11-ish or close to, keep them, if we get Calvert-Lewin can play 30 games, if Okafor can play 30, it's all dependent on injuries, obviously, but I actually think what we've got is well worthy of being well out of a relegation fight. But the sides I expect to be in it are in it, which is fucking brilliant news. 4 points minimum should be 6. Next 2 SB, yeah, I agree. I think it should be 6. I think if we go beat Burnley, then we come back to Elland Road and we pagger West Ham. I really do. Burnley's a tough one though, because they're really good defensively under Parker. I know that's changed a little bit in the Premier League, but they have been hard to beat. Some of the top sides have really struggled to score against them. At Burnley, again, went there last year and we were happy to see out 0-0, which infuriated me. I do think the onus is on us really to try and get 3 points there, because it's a side we're going to be battling down bottom end, you'd imagine-ish. Or they're going to be down bottom end, newly promoted side. Technically, as a newly promoted side also, the other 2 that came up with us should be our easiest games. Should be the games we're targeting to get, 12 points out of those 2 sides. But flip it round, they'll be thinking the exact same about Leeds United. At home, Burnley will look at Leeds United and think, well, this is one of the easiest home games we'll have. Leeds and Sunderland coming to Burnley are our easiest 2 home fixtures. So the onus will be on them to go win. A draw for Burnley at home isn't a great point, really. It was last season when, you're both fighting for top 2 and, point nice. It's not really good enough, I don't think, for Burnley. Is it good enough for Leeds, being the away side? Maybe. But I do think this is a game you need to be, you need to be trying to get 4 to 6 points out of the 2 newly promoted sides for me. Yeah, I agree. I think we're winning both. And I think we'll keep a clean sheet in one of them too, because that needs to turn again. We need to get back to being watertight at back. I think we can go to Burnley win 3-0. I really do. I think some of our players are cooking, to be honest. I think Okafor looks like he's cooking now. If Aronson play well again, we'll have Nonto back by then too. He'll come off a bench, I would assume. Yeah, I'm happy. Evening, beautiful Matthew. Evening, beautiful Michael. Hope you're well, buddy. Thanks for watching, mate. Good news, Matty. You can now buy Blueberry's holiday sauce at your local. If anyone watched my vlog, genuinely, I ate my first ever blueberry, which, look at the size of me. It's probably not very surprising to you that I don't eat much fruit. Pretty bad, really. Yeah. But yeah, first blueberry. The consistency and that freaks me off. It pops. I can't. But yeah, I ate one by mistake at the bottom of this like yogurt thing. But it was nice. And there were 4 more, but I couldn't eat them because I knew I'd eat one, even though it tasted nice and weird. And hollandaise sauce, never had that before. I've had eggs Benedict and asked for no sauce because it looks like salad cream. It doesn't taste like salad cream. That freaks me out. But yeah, I won't too bad either. But I probably won't eat it again. But yeah. Weird. Ryan Cook, evening all. MOT. Cheers, Ryan. Hope you're well, mate. They had a bit more quality in the final third and were quicker in the transition. Yeah, massively. That's it. Nothing separate the teams. Gutting. But yeah, it is a bit gutting. It was better than conceding a late last-minute equaliser, I'll say. Not equaliser, but a last-minute goal to lose a game. I know Bournemouth we didn't lose, but it felt like it. It was nice to see Farker, and I wasn't that surprised. Just throw caution to win a throw at everyone on him. Ended with like 14 strikers. It was nice to see. I do feel now like I've spoke a lot about Farker being quite pragmatic and everything's steady and, don't lose a game, but sort of try and keep goals out before you try and attack and being quite negative at times. Although I understand it, I do feel like now, like I say, the balance is now he's got that bit more of attacking, impetus in that side now, and naturally we're conceding goals, but we do like we're going to score. When we pass the halfway line and we've got the ball, I'm quite confident we're going to create something now, which I didn't think maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. So that's nice to see. But the transition, you could see Spurs, man for man, miles better than us. Sit back, absorb pressure, and then spring a counter whenever they could, and they had the pace to do it. And every time we lost the ball, they were in behind us in that first half, especially very quickly, without troubling the keeper. They missed quite a few, blazed a few over bar, but the warning signs were there quite early on before they scored SB for me. They were getting in behind. I thought they got in behind Bogle loads in that first half. Loads, and that was because we were trying to make things happen and we were losing the ball high up naturally by being risk takers. And this is why sometimes Farker doesn't like that sort of like risk reward sort of thing. I felt like this was most wide open I've seen us under Farker, probably or ever, to be honest. I feel like we were so open, but on the other hand, it's probably the best side, bar Arsenal, we've seen Farker play. Elland Road, anyway, it's the best side I've seen Farker's Leeds United play. We're talking about Elland Road. I've been to every game, bar 1 or 2. At Elland Road since Farker's been there, and that was the best side I've seen. And the way the game was probably matched that, and it should have been that. But I actually feel Leeds were the better side. I feel Leeds dominated possession, more chances, I think a lot more clear cut chances. But they looked threatening every time they got the ball, and there were loads of space in our half. They were getting in behind. There were loads of space, but it should be like that because man for man they've got better quality. But to lose by a goal against a side that I think will they be top 4? Definitely top 6. They're not going to finish 17th, 16th, 17th like last season. That's a fact. That's a fact. They might do all right Champions League. They may win a cup. Who knows? But they're a top side. They're a top side with top players. Mate, hello, mate. I really feel the next 2 games are crucial. 4, yeah, I think 4's minimum for me. But 3's not a disaster. Say 3 would get us to 11 points in 9, which is still decent. But yeah, you're getting famous now, Matt. Famous without any of the perks. I'm still skint. I'm famous, mate. Some people might notice me because I'm just annoying. Definitely can't ignore me, can you? Big up, Matt. Hope you're well, brother. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, Rob. Hope you're well too, mate. Hope you and family are good. Surprised Lisa didn't call you Vinny. bit too fat for that, mate. Evening, Matt. Hey up, Martin. Hope you're well. I worked with a guy who plays a Sunny Neville about 10 years ago. Class, Dave. Class. Mr. Gold. Matty Pal, let's be realistic. Leeds are going down under Farker. I don't know who you follow, Mr. Gold. Are you Leeds or I can't make out that if that gives me any hint. I don't think that's been realistic at all. Why is it unrealistic for me to think Leeds are staying up? What have you seen that says we're going down? Because there hasn't been one performance bar Arsenal. Outside Arsenal, there hasn't been another performance that makes me think we're poor and we can't compete at this level. I look at the sides below us; they're all performing worse. We're better than Wolves. Have proved that. We'll finish higher than Burnley. So you're telling me that means we're definitely going down? For me, there's one more spot available. The Brentford look brilliant. The West Ham look brilliant. Sunderland, amazing. It's only 3 points in front of us. Sunderland could still go down. I think you're way off with that, buddy. Way off. You've probably already commented. I'm about 4 days behind, but I love doing this. Who from our squad is going in national duty? Yeah, I'm not too sure. There won't be many. I don't think there were many, Richard. Dave, Leeds looking a lot better if we can play a great team, a great game against Tottenham, and keep Elland Road a fortress. Yeah, honestly, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Calvert, a Prem player. Calvert-Lewin is 100% a Premier League player. He's not a Prem player. It's just he's played every single minute of his professional career in the Premier League, Mr. Gold. So it's the only level he's played. Played for England, scored goals, scored a lot of Premier League goals. I think I'm going to go on this right. Calvert-Lewin, yeah. Anybody who thinks Calvert-Lewin's not a Prem player, go watch that game, right? So the goal that we scored, unbelievable by Calvert-Lewin. I think it's gone unnoticed. Bogle whips a ball in. Calvert-Lewin gets there, controls it on his boot, and literally just drops off end of his boot into the path of Allenson. That touch there, by Calvert-Lewin is fucking phenomenal. Phenomenal. Literally touches it, brings it down at air, and just in one motion stops a pace and ball, and it just falls to Aronson. It's a perfect layoff. Aronson shoots, take a deflection, keeper palms it in a walk of 4. 1-1. That touch by Calvert-Lewin, that pre-assist, it was a pre-assist to that goal. Unbelievable. Then the big Pirro chance at 93rd minute. Huge Pirro chance. Ball gets whipped in. Who gets that header? Calvert-Lewin. Flicks it on. Pirro shot. Unbelievable save by keeper. So he misses a guilt-edge chance. Lays it over. A bit of pressure from the defenders. Keeps on to it too long. Should have released it quicker. He shot Calvert-Lewin. Misses it, and he's getting slated for it. We used to talk about how good Bamford was for the team. Calvert-Lewin, the work he does for the team is unbelievable levels compared to Bamford. Unbelievable levels. Almost, sets up Pirro there to win the game, get a draw. Almost sets him up there. Winning the ball again, dominant in the air. Calvert-Lewin is 100% a Prem player. And too good to be in a relegation battle in my eyes. Say what you fucking want. I think he's top player for us. For us, he's a very, very, very good player. I am a Calvert-Lewin fan with what I'm seeing, and I think if you're going to slag him off, then you don't know football. We can pull him apart and say he's missing chances. He is, but he's getting the chances. He's creating for others, and he will score 10, 12 goals this season. He will do. I've got no doubt about it. But yeah, he is a Prem footballer. He hasn't played him in outside Premier League, unless he went on loan as a youth, which he may be say something else. But he is. If we lose to Burnley, Fark has to head off to. So you are a Leeds fan, Mr. Gold. You are. Wow. If I was guaranteed 17, but life is no, I get that. Yeah. Can't wait for Nonto to get back and hopefully play him on the right. Yeah, I mean, I liked Aronson again. I did. I'm not an Aronson fan, as you know, usually, but yeah. Yeah, I get that, Andy. I know you are, mate. I know you are. That draw against Bournemouth looked good when you see them put 3 past. Yeah, again, I thought same when I saw results, Steve. When I saw 3-1 against Fulham. When I seen that, I just thought again, the Bournemouth one just makes it look even better, 100%. Listen to the game on the way back from the lakes. Connor's watch along. We sounded crap, but watching the game when I got back, didn't play bad. Just a few players' games need polishing. Take care. But hey up, Mark. Hope you're good, buddy. Yeah, mate. Depends who you're watching it. It can come across quite negative, depending who's speaking about the game. Wasn't a negative performance at all. At all. What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to beat Tottenham and not give them any chances? Are you deluded? Do you know what I mean? Not you, Matt, personally. But are we supposed to beat Tottenham and not give them any chances? I don't understand how that works. They're going to have chances. They're probably going to beat us or take points off us at the bare minimum, because guess what? It's Tottenham Hotspur, and they've got players on the bench like Brennan Johnson, who didn't come on till 90th minute, who would walk into our side and be the best player at our club. And he's coming on for charity minutes to run the clock down. Brennan Johnson, who scores nearly every game he starts at Tottenham, and he ain't starting. I mean, I don't know what you're expecting. I expect hard work, the boys to give the fans something to get up and cheer for, something to pay them back for spending the hard-earned money. And I'm seeing that tick. I'm seeing that. And there is quality in there. At this point, Ray Lee's looking at under 40 points this season. Yeah, but when you say under, how many's under? What, 18, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 8, 16, 24, 30. It's close to 40, just doing basic maths. Is it not 40? 8 points in 7 are we on? 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. So let's just say 35 with 3 more. 8, 16, 24, 32. I'm not being funny, Mr. Gold, but I'm sure your maths is wrong there. I'm sure at this ratio, if we were to get 8 points in every 7 games, we'd finish on more than 40. I might be wrong on that, Mr. Gold, but I think as a bit of a pumpkin that I am, this time of year, pumpkins in my head, I'm a bit of a clown, as you know, but I'm pretty sure your maths is out there. I'm sure at this rate, we would have more than 40. But it doesn't matter what we get, because there'll be 3 teams with less than us. So don't worry about it. If we get 39, there'll be 3 sides with 38 and below. So don't worry about it, mate. Try and be positive. I'm negative when there's something to be negative about. There's no to be negative. You're just making wild assumptions based on we probably don't like Farke, and I'm not a massive Farke fan. Don't love him like I've loved other managers, but we're fine. We look good. Did you go to a game? Do you watch it on Sky? You know, what's your deal, Mr. Gold? We're looking good. We're looking good. Would you take 17th? You probably would. We're 15th now, and the signs still look good. The current top 10 in the Prem are the proper Prem teams tradition-wise. Well, they're not, mate, because we're not in there. And you are. So that's wrong, Alice. Yep, I'm all right with that one. Blueberries are the devil's bollocks. No excuses, 6 points. I must. Yeah, again, it's not a must, Nick, because you don't get relegated if we lose them next 2 games. But I'll definitely have a negative spin on stuff if we don't get at least 3. But I think you win at Burnley, then we beat West Ham. I think we lose at Burnley, then it puts a totally different feel to the West Ham game, doesn't it? But I think we get 6 points, but I think 4 would be decent too. If you can pick up 4 in two games against relegation sort of sides, then we're laughing. But I think we get 6, Nick. But I don't think it's no excuses. 6 is a must. 6 just takes the edge off. It is said no Premier League team would be relegated with over 11 points from the first 10 games. Exactly. Got 3. By that ratio, we've got 3 games to get 3 points, which we're above a point per game ratio now. So we should get 3 points in 3 games, shouldn't we? Blueberries are a superfood, great for your blood. It probably is, mate, but there's probably so many more stuff. But I can't do it. Blueberries are raw kale for 2 weeks, once a day. You will lose £14. Try to say I need to lose weight, Mr. Gold. Yeah, give Mr. Silver now, dickhead. Oh, I'm only nobbling, but no, seriously, I can't eat that. Paul says if DCL plays 30 games, we will get relegated. He won't score more than 9-10 goals. Plays 30 games, we will get. Paul, couldn't agree. Couldn't disagree more. Honestly, if DCL doesn't play 30 games, then for me, we'd be in trouble. You can put that down to recruitment, 49ers, FARC, whatever you want. Say we haven't brought in the right players. If DCL gets injured and doesn't play the bulk of our games, then we'll struggle. Because Metcha is similar to DCL, but not as good. And Pirro, as much as I like Pirro, the kind of striker we need is DCL. Say what about him missing chances. He will put chances away. We've seen that the header at Wolves were unbelievable. He almost scores. You know, in this game too, let's be fair, their keeper makes a brilliant save when Okafor takes it down left, cuts it in. Great turn again. Again, some people forgetting what DCL does. Gets the ball on the half turn, brings it round and hits it on target, and the keeper saves it with his leg. Almost scored there right at the start of the second half. Again, unlucky, great save. But what DCL does with, off the ball, on the ball, bring the ball out of the air, that focal point as a 9. I think if that's Pirro, we've got to totally change his play. We can't go long anymore. We've got to play out from back, invite pressure on us like we did at Arsenal. The more top teams we play, having Pirro up top is going to reduce the amount of long balls. So we're always going to be sort of building up from our half, which works at times. But to do it all the time isn't a good tactic for us, personally. So I think if DCL doesn't play 30 against Paul, I'd say we've got more chance of going down. And I think to say he won't score 9, I think that's wild. He scored 1 in 7. He didn't start first game. He didn't play first. Plus, he got 1 in 5. At that ratio, he gets 9, doesn't he? I think. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. No, he doesn't. He gets about 6 or 7. It's a fair point. He gets 6 and we go down. The maths were good for start up Paul that time. I noticed we tried to advance the play when Tanaka came on. He was trying to get us for. Yeah, just game state though as well. I see Stack getting loads of stick again. False Stack played all right. Stack did okay. Stack had a Stack-like performance that it wasn't at the levels we've seen for 1 or 2 games, but it was still a good performance. Graham Smith gave him a 7 out of 10 at Evening Post. Played well, kept the ball well, recoveries were it was okay. Tanaka comes on, we're chasing the game. Naturally, they ease off a little bit. Tanaka gets on the ball. Now the conversation with Tanaka needs to start over Stack. And I like Tanaka. And if he does. Again, rotation's not a bad option. But we have got a couple of weeks off now. I think for anyone calling for Stack, I know you're not, maybe. I think I've seen a few people calling for Stack. Say, he needs a bit of timeout. He's got timeout now, hasn't he? He's got 2 weeks without playing football, so he doesn't need timeout. Stack's still a better player, I think, than Tanaka. But yeah, Tanaka should look good when he comes on for the last 20 minutes and we're chasing the game. And he did. He did. Kershaw, be interesting to see if Farker makes any changes for me. I wouldn't yet. I thought this. I wouldn't make any changes yet because I think we're playing well. But because we've conceded 4 in the last 2, is there a conversation that Biol is close for a start now? Not that Strauch was at fault. It could have been better for the first one. Both deflections come off him. But again, that's him trying to get a stick a leg in, just unfortunate. But not really all he's done. But when we've conceded 4 in 2, do you look at it and go, well, do we just try Biol now? See if it's any better? I think he'll keep it for another game or so, but I think if we don't get a clean sheet in coming games, I think you could see Biol maybe come in. Because at some point he's got to, right? For the money he's spent, at some point you'd imagine he's got to. Most Prem sides have got a reliable standout player. Who's Leeds' standout player? I would say Okafor is the exciting one, and he's doing glimpses. He just needs to be more consistent in a game and obviously show consistency in a multitude of games, which at the minute he's playing, we haven't seen him have a long-term injury yet. Touch wood, that doesn't happen. Lord of Averages say he's going to have something because he has it every season, but if he can stay fit, I think, and get consistent within the game, because he's in and out of games, but when he's in the game, he looks brilliant, and I think he's probably the exciting player that can make something happen out of no. And he's got 2 goals now, and he hasn't played many games for us. You know, what is he, fifth game, something like that. And he's got 2 goals for us already, so it's a great start for Okafor. And I think having a fit and sort of like, he's an exciting player, and he needs to just get his mojo sort of, you know, he's that kind of player. If he's in his mojo, if he's in his groove, I feel like you see the best of him. He's got a little bit of an ego, which I like. He just needs his confidence to be there. And I feel like 2 goals in at the start of his Leeds career is going to give him that confidence to go on and be the man. I spoke about it before about, you know, you do need a couple of players in team, or maybe one player who feel like they are the man. And I think Okafor has the mantle to be that. And I think you're already seeing glimpses. But again, I think, you know, Stack's a top player. I think Longstaff's probably been, you know, as standout for the last couple of games before this one. Rodon's class. There's a few, Andy, in there. Depends what you mean by like standout player. But I think Okafor will be that guy. Pace skill does, sorry to say. Yeah, it's one of them. I'm loving how a lot of us are downhearted by this. It shows, you know, the size of the club and the expectations of the fans that we actually thought we could get something against Tottenham. And that's great. And I did too. And we deserved it on balance of play for me. We actually deserved to win. A draw, I'd have been happy with. And you know me, honestly, I can get quite negative fairly quickly, but I only go negative if I don't feel, you know, we're in a game. If going to Arsenal and being 2-0 down at half-time, praying to God it ends 2-0 because you couldn't see us going in the game. I hate that. You know, to be in a game right till last kick. If we can be in nearly every game this season till the final kick and be in the game, then boys are doing something right, aren't they? We've got a good squad. We've got a competitive squad. And we're competing every game. And I love that. We are going to get on, you know, we are going to be on end of some of these, but we'll also be on winning side of it as well. Hey up, my lad. Hey up, Eddie. Hope you're well, mate. Nice evening, mate. Bamford scored 17 in a season. DCL has been nowhere near that. I think he scored 17 a couple of times, hasn't he? Or around over 15 a couple of times under Ancelotti. But we'll see how it goes. I don't want to say it was 17 behind closed doors, Paul, but I just did. Tickle those likes for my top banana. Who actually is going to be down there end? Oh, hey up Ian. Wolves, Burnley, Leeds, Sunderland, West Ham, Brentford will find their feet and detach from the bottom 3. You can only see one stay up. And we got 11. Yeah, Ian. I understand that you're a Sunderland fan. You're going to think that, but yeah, Leeds will finish above you, above you anyway. And Ian, Leeds will finish above Sunderland. So if Leeds get relegated, so do you. But yeah, I think Sunderland and us stay up. Yes, DCL needs to take more chances, but fans have to be realistic. If any Leeds player gets 10 goals, then they would have had a good season. 100%. I've got DCL getting no more than 5 goals in this season for us. If he gets injured, then yeah. If DCL plays 30 games, I reckon he gets 10. And we'll see where we are. And I reckon he gets a ton of assists as well. I reckon maybe he gets 8 or 9 goals and maybe 8 or 9 assists. Honestly, I think the way he's playing, if you watch the game back, even watch the highlights, the big chances are coming from Summit Calvert-Lewin's getting on end of. All the time, he's winning everything, and we're getting the second balls in and around the box. So if Pirro scores that, we go wild. And guess who would have assisted it? DCL. The goal we scored, DCL. Beautiful layoff to Aronson. He does so much. The start of the second half, he has that chance where Okafor plays it in, he turns and hits it. That's almost a goal for DCL. But all you'll focus on is the one he missed. It's all you'll focus on. Great save, stops him scoring. He gets a pre-assist and almost gets an assist. He scores that, gets the assist, and all of a sudden we're probably talking about man of match performance just because of a couple of inches here or there. Honestly, he's played brilliant. Take Sheffield Wednesday game, I ain't cut where they were all shite. He's played brilliant every performance for me. Brilliant. And I say brilliant. Been one of our top 5 performers in every game he's played. And that's my opinion. I can say it once because it's my channel. But I don't think I'm far wrong with it. I don't. I think we saw a great option late in the game, DCL and Pitt. Yeah, well, let's be fair. Pitto up top, it works, doesn't it? With a second striker next to him, it does. Problem is, the way it was sort of, it was like very unconventional. It was like, we ended up with 3 players up front, we met you up there, and we ended up sort of like trying to build up then through the middle. Whereas early in the game, getting out wide, trying to whip balls in, that's probably the way to go. It was like we stopped getting balls into the box when you had more options in the box. But I think the way we were sort of set up, it was difficult to sort of get the ball out wide to get it in. It were like sort of central areas. But I quite like the option of Pitto feeding off of DCL for the fact that we've seen it already. We've seen it already. Long ball, flicked by Calvert-Lewin, shot by Pirro, almost goes in. On another day, that goes in. And if it happens multitude of times, he'll get goals with Pirro off of a DCL. Why some of the fan base in meltdown, we will beat the lower teams. Tell me who we should have beaten out of the teams we played. Should we have beaten Everton? No, we shouldn't have beaten. No, not that we shouldn't have beaten them, but was it a definite? We should be beating Everton. No, look how well they're doing. It wasn't a we should win. It was a we could win. And guess what? We won it. Newcastle. Should we be getting a point against Newcastle? No. Could we? Yes. But is it a we should definitely be? No. Should we beat Arsenal? No. Should we beat Fulham away? No. Should we beat Bournemouth? No. Should we beat Tottenham? No. And we didn't. But in 3 of those games, we put right account of ourselves. And on another day, we'd win that game. I would get a point there. Fulham would get a point there. We'd have beat Bournemouth. And yeah, you can't over the course of the season, if there's results like this creeping in, then we'll end up struggling, won't we? Because we will be off it. Because you can't just keep saying you're playing well and not get the points. It's all about points. But use these, guys. Use these. Even look at the stats. We were the better team again. For me, over a long period of time, if you're doing the fundamentals right, you will get enough points. You will. I look at Sunderland and think they've done okay. They've had easier fixtures. And for me, you haven't looked brilliant in all your games. Take Arsenal out. We've looked brilliant in all ours. We've looked brilliant in 6 games out of 7. Sunderland haven't. Mate, Biol must come in. Pascal has been average for several games. I wouldn't say average. I think he's the worst of the two that play, because Rodon's top draw for me. Probably a bit of an exaggeration top draw, but I love the guy. I think his class is colossal. Better the devil you know. Biol, we'll have to see. Hopefully he comes in as this monster we all sort of hope he is. I think Pascal's been all right in games. I think he were okay as well there. I think his worst game were probably Bournemouth. I thought Bournemouth, he looked a little bit off it. Him and Ampadu last week. But I do think Biol's got to come in at some point. I mean, if we don't play Biol this season, Telly, there'll be a lot of mourning because we've spent a lot of money there, and we're talking about not having a 10, not having another 9, not having a right winger. If you end up where you've got someone sat on bench who'll cost you, 17 million quid and he gets no minutes, and there's a conversation to be had, then why did you buy him? If Pascal were better. I said this to AG coming out. How is it Pascal's keeping bloody Biol out at 17 million quid? And then I sort of realised, how much would we want if we sold Pascal Strauch? Be more than 17 million quid. So why am I saying Biol's a better player than Pascal Strauch? Based on fact, he's 17 million quid. Yeah, but we'd want 20 million plus for Pascal as a fan base, would we not? Whether you think he's worth that. If we saw Pascal Strauch for 5 million quid, we'd be fuming, wouldn't we? Or 10 million quid. Surely, if we're selling Pascal, you're going to want 20. We want 20, 25 quid for him. But he played loads of Premier League minutes. Still a decent age. Technically gifted, left-footed. Should be a premium, that. But yet, we're probably wanting someone to play over him who's worth less money. Just an interesting point. Coming out of game as you do, having a bit of a natter. Okafor is getting to full fitness and playing longer and better each game. Agree. Fraser, yes, mate. Hey up, Fraser. Hope you're well, buddy. Do you think Rads would have made a massive difference for us in the Prem? Ramazani or Rads? What do you mean, Rads? You mean owner, Radrazani? If it's the owner, no. If it's Ramazani, which I would have thought you'd meant, but if it's Radrazani, no, I don't. Ramazani right now, yes, I do. Yeah, I do. People will say he ain't good enough. He ain't doing it at Valencia and all that shit. Yeah, I think it would be making a difference. Yeah, 100%. A bit surprised if he's got a goal or an assist at this point too. If he gets 10, he's had a very good season. Not slating his all-round game, pal, but purely he's finishing his average at best. Yeah, you know what it is, though, Jamie? I think his movement is Premier League. I think his aerial threat's Premier League. I think his hold-up play is Premier League. If he's finishing or top-end Premier League, then he won't be at Leeds United, Jamie. He won't be a Leeds United player. If he could finish to the level that we want him to be finishing. I mean, you're thinking if we're wanting him to get 12, 13, 14 goals at Leeds United, that means if he played for Arsenal, he'd be getting 25 goals a season, which means he'd be a £40 million player, if not more. So if finishing's the one thing that lets him down, that's why he's at Leeds United. Because if he could do that, he could do it all in my eyes, because he can do the rest of it. He can do the rest of it. For me, he's unbelievable at every other attribute you want in the striker. Finishing's the bit that he isn't, he isn't 100% at. He isn't, and he probably never will be. So that's what you've got to sort of look at. He won't be at Leeds, would he? And some people will be happy, I don't want him at Leeds. But for me, I think you can clearly see he's the best number 9 we've had in years for me. And there'll be some Bamford lovers who say Bamford's better. Well, I don't think so. I think when I'm watching my team now, I'm watching a proper number 9. I've enjoyed watching Pirlo play, the way we built up, the attacking flair, the attacking chances we've had, and we could build up, and he were great in there, floating around box, putting his chance away. He is the best finisher at the club, is Pirlo, 100%. He is the best goal scorer at the club. But the way we're playing now with the defenders we're up against, he's nowhere near, I don't think, capable of playing nowhere near the level of DCL or to the sort of feel of what we're getting from DCL at the minute. And I've got to believe that DCL will put the goals away because he's getting the chances. Maybe he just needs a couple more than the average to put one away. But look at the Wolves goal. Incredibly difficult chance, and that goes in. So he's got it. He has got it. But I think very harsh, one of the shots against Bournemouth, the header should have scored that. The one through and through with keeper, 1-on-1 with keeper, early doors, but should do better. There's one 6-yard box where the keeper makes a brilliant save there. Point blank saves that. The one at start first half saves that. He could be on 3 or 4 goals now. He could be, and maybe should be. If Pirlo links up with DCL, who misses out if Pirlo plays the top? Nobody makes it. Don't work. It just don't work. They'd have to take him. For me, they'd probably take a midfielder out, but they won't do that because as midfield's been probably best area at pitch, so it won't happen, mate. Everyone had a go at Bamford for missing chances. Now all of a sudden DCL is great. Yeah, well, it sounds like DCL's not great, Paul. And people did ever go at Bamford for missing chances. Bamford missed a load more chances than what DCL's done currently. If DCL has 3 seasons at Leeds, missing chance after chance after chance, and has one season where he scores 17 goals, he'll probably still get called out. DCL should have scored more than 1 goal by now. He should have 2 or 3. He hasn't, but I still haven't seen a bad performance from DCL by Chef Wednesday. I have not seen DCL in the Premier League for Leeds United have a bad performance. I haven't. And when he does have, I'll call it out. He should have scored more. He should have done. Was Okafor a target before the Milan game? I don't know, mate. I don't know. You'd think so. I don't think they've just played him in a friendly and gone, oh, he's good, let's sign him. If they have, that's not great, is it? I think we ran out of wingers for the last 20 minutes. Need none to win. Yeah, 100%, mate. You know the subs what Farkel wanted to make, and he didn't. And Jack Addison came on and was okay again. Doesn't set the world alight. Not the sub I want to lead. This is what I've said before. When we're a goal down, especially while James Anonto's out, when we're a goal down in the game and we need to get back into it, do we have the capabilities? You know, bringing Tanaka's on is a great option. But having Jack Harrison, throwing Metcher and Pinner on to try and get you a win, it's probably not. I think we're more suited for me for, you know, making subs on a hold out for a point or a win. But to actually try and turn it from a loss to a draw or a win, I think that's. I know we've seen it. We've seen us come back. You know, with Wolves, Everton, we brought on Harrison and Aronson on opening day and went from 0-0 to 1-0. So I know we've done it, and I know we can do it. But I think we're better suited for changing mid-game personnel to see out a result as opposed to getting back into it. But we'll see. If we play Pirro, does that mean we change our 3-5? Yeah, but he won't do it. There's no need in changing formation for me, Richard. Pirro ain't gonna start. Why would Pirro start? Because he came on and had a shot. No. Pirro hasn't played any minutes in previous two. He ain't going to change formation because we're playing well. We finally started scoring goals and we still look great. 2 deflected goals and 2 set pieces in the last 2 games. Stuff to work on. Corsa is closing down, getting tighter to your man when they're being direct and running at you. Don't stand off them like Pascal did. You know, get into them a bit more. Set pieces, you can always tighten up on your set pieces. Always tighten up there. Stuff to work on training pitch. I aren't massively worried. He ain't gonna be worried. There's no drastic formation changes needed here. No chance. He'll get his chance, Biol, and he'll shine. Yeah, I hope so. I love Pascal. I ain't bothered who plays, to be fair. But if he gets a chance, I hope he shines. I hope Eddie. Burnley won't be easy. They beat Sunderland at home, play well against some of the top teams. Yeah, exactly. Of course, we'll see as one of the easiest games. They played a lot of harder teams than Leeds and give them a game. But can Burnley do a number on us? 100% they can. But it's got to be a game we go win. It's got to be. We got to Burnley and lose, and it'll start turning toxic again. Winning, you know, losing to Tottenham, people are frustrated now. Lose to Burnley, fucking meltdown, won't it? But we won't lose to Burnley. We play like we played against Tottenham. We beat Burnley comfortably for me. We're playing really well. And they haven't got the quality that we saw Tottenham have. Let's be fair, Tottenham only got into those areas down to their quality. Bamford will go for us, just injured too much. Yeah, injured way too much. Coming back into the team, probably unfit at times, rushing him back because we didn't have certain players who could take that mantle on. That definitely happened once or twice. But still, the best version of Bamford isn't as good as the best version of DCL. And the worst of Bamford is nowhere near as good as the worst version of DCL either. DCL's a much better 9 than Bamford. That's my opinion. But I also think that's factually correct as well. I just think he's a better player. I think you've seen that now with your eyes. If you choose to just sort of overlook the fact he's missed maybe 2 or 3 what he should have put away, he's still bringing more to the team, I think, than any striker we've had in a long time. You wouldn't get more than 15 million for Pascal. Maybe not, mate. Maybe not. But even if it were 15 million, it's in the same ballpark as Biol, innit? So how much better is Biol than Pascal? I'm just asking, devil's advocate. Yeah, I thought it was Ramazani. I was like, Ramazani, that's a bit of a wild one, Fraser. I do. I'm a massive. I don't know if I've seen you on here before, Fraser. I might be. If I have, I apologise. But I'm a massive Ramazani fan, mate. Everybody knows that. Huge Ramazani fan. And I hate the notion of, well, he ain't tearing it up in Valencia. I think he'd be tearing it up here. And when I say tearing it up, playing well, getting minutes and playing well if Farker played him. And I think right now we'd be getting minutes because he's only got Harrison at minute currently to play. Play him on left, he'd be challenging Okafor for minutes, but Okafor hasn't been finishing games. So Ramazani getting 20, 25 minutes end of game, I would rather that than Jack Harrison, yeah. And Harrison's doing well. I'd rather that than Aronson. I don't think we're missing massively because I think we're doing well. I don't think we miss anybody. I think we're doing really, really well. I mean, you've got to remember, Nonto and James out currently last couple of games. We had a couple of weeks where we had no Ampadu and Tanaka. They were both out, you know. Perry comes in, hasn't done too well. He gets injured. You know, we've had injuries. You know, for a short. You know, it's only been 7 games. We've had injuries to key personnel for odd game too. You know, people going about when we played bloody Newcastle. Good time to play Newcastle. They didn't have 2 of the midfielders. You know, top draw midfielders. Well, to us, we didn't have Ampadu or Tanaka. They're our top draw players. Their top draw was at the time. You know. Only 34 likes. Help Matty out and hit the like button. Yeah, please do. Please smash a like if you don't mind. Really appreciate that. Cheers, Top Banana. Mosby all just for performance against Sheffield Wednesday and being. Nah, I don't think so. He didn't look great against Sheffield Wednesday, but no one did. I think it's hard to judge him off that. I just think it's been hard to change a winning team or a team doing well, and there's been been a fair few games where we've done well, haven't there? So, Jamie Lowe, fully agree, pal, with all you're saying. But as we know, the main thing with strikers are judging goals. If he gets 8 to 10 goals for us league, I'll be happy. Yeah, no, I know it is, and I'm one of them too. The whole works hard, and I used to be Bamford's biggest critic. I'll be honest. I'll hold my hands up and say I was. When he wasn't scoring, he would running channels and putting loads of effort in and stuff like that, and everyone would tell him, yeah, but look what he does for the team. I'm like, yeah, but he should be scoring goals. Difference is, I used to feel like Bamford would do so much everywhere else. When the ball came in the box, he wouldn't be in the right area, and he'd wait all game, and he might get one chance and he'd fluff it. Calvert-Lewin's getting multiple chances a game because he's usually in the right area. He works hard, but he's usually in the right area because his movement's so good. His movement. Paddy's movement were good, but I mean, the IQ of being a striker to get in and around the 6-yard box and be available to receive the ball with your back to goal and turn and shoot, it's way better than Bamford's. So I think because he gets multiple chances a game, he gets more chances than Bamford, he will score a decent amount of goals. And 8 to 10 is great. If he gets anywhere near double figures, it's great for us. And we are getting goals from elsewhere. Rodon scoring, should have scored again. As wingers score goals, we are getting goals from other areas now. So it's not totally reliant on a striker getting 15 goals. I think if you get a striker who's newly promoted side in and around 10, then that's not a bad return. It's a free transfer too. And I think he's one hell of a free transfer, I won't lie. Bit ironic, but DCL's best season was the same as our first season back in the Prem when Bamford was our top scorer. Yeah, that was undoubtedly, wasn't it? A striker is supposed to score goals, full stop. That's his job. I agree. I want him to score goals, but I think they'll come. Paul. How do you feel on Aronson? He's a winger. He's an attack. He's in an attacking position, a winger. Yeah, he's supposed to be a defender, apparently. Do you know what I mean? He's in team because he defends. Depends on it. Modern football, it does my head in. Can't we just go back to the 90s? Give me an Alan Shearer. Just score goals. Don't give a shit what else you do. Just score goals. That sort of striker. Just go score goals. Don't give a shit about what else. Have these packs to them now, don't they? And they've got to run so many meters and do this and that, and it's all percentages and expected and blah, blah, blah. I get you. It's about scoring goals, about putting the ball in the onion bag. I get you. But that's not where football is these days. And for me, I think he will score goals, and he's bringing so much more to the team that's making other people score goals. Like I say, if he assists that Pirro goal, is he getting the hype, or is it just look, Pirro scored? But look who set him up. Look who did pre-assist for the goal. Look who almost scored on 47, 48 minutes with a great turn and shot on target. Couldn't have done much more there. So fine margins, mate, from almost pre-assist, assist, and goal. And man of match performance if all that happens. Small margins. Diggler, DCL looks to be a very good player, but he has to put the ball away and stay fit. Of course he does. It goes without saying, mate. Staying fit's the hard part. Scoring goals will come. It is what it is. You'll have your narrative. I've got mine on players. I get it. We just don't agree on DCL. That's fine. As long as when DCL does well, whether he scores 10 or not, but he does well in the game. If he goes to Burnley and scores 2 goals, and you're on here or wherever you are, make sure you're saying he's done well today. I'm not an Aronson fan, but I think last 3 weeks he's done well. And I hope, Paul, you're one of them fans who wants to be proven wrong. I'm hoping you'd love nothing more than DCL to get 14, 15 goals and come on and say, I put my hands up, got that one wrong. Wow. Because for me, he's not doing a thing wrong other than a couple of chances. He could be on maybe 3 or 4 goals by now. But if he's putting away every chance, it's too good for Leeds, isn't it? It's too good for Leeds if he's scoring every chance he gets. There's got to be some fault somewhere in his attributes or his game or his levels. There's got to be something for him to be at Leeds United. There's got to be. Because he is so good in other areas. So good. DCL's big game is crosses in the air. Scored most of his goals with his head. If you look at all his goals. Yeah, of course. And we go long, but they are chances for him to score. You know, we need to be getting to byline and whipping balls in like we did against Wolves once at byline. Well, that was a deep cross, but we need to be getting the ball into the box in the air for him to attack them. Matty, do you think Daniel is a type of manager? Daniel is a type of manager to make changes if Leeds are on a negative run of form. I don't know, mate. I don't know. I've seen a lot of stuff with Farker that's annoyed me over the last 2 seasons. This season, I think he's shown quite a lot of adaptability, change of formation, change of players. I don't actually sit there at Elland Road now and go, why are you making a sub? I feel like his subs have been, don't get me wrong, he's not making subs on 50 minutes, but should he be? I think his subs are a little bit better. He hasn't got many options on bench. I quite like how he proper went for it the other day. We could have lost that 4-1 in the end, you know, if the couple of late attacks with how forward we were trying to sort of play. And I quite like that, you know. I'd rather lose 5-1 than just stick to 2-1 and sort of go out with a whimper. I liked how he went for it. I didn't mind that. And if we'd have conceded, I put my hands up and gone, at least we've got a manager there trying to win it. So I don't know. I'm feeling all right about Farker at the minute, Andy. I'm feeling all right about him. And when I'm not, I'll let you know. Eddie, we've played really well in the last 5 games, scored 6, and in the last 3 games, we'll be okay. Okafor looking better each game, and goals will come for ECL soon. Exactly how I feel, Eddie. Exactly how I feel. Come on, guys, strike a like for our best Leeds YouTuber. Get it a hit, cost nothing. Cheers, mate. Yeah, 39 likes, 40 watching, so we're pretty much where we will be, but there'll definitely be someone who's not liked. Please stick a like if you want. Cheers, Mark, you're a legend. Thanks for that. DCL is for sure better than Bamford. There's no doubt in that. Yeah, how good are Shaw Longstaff's corners? It's definitely added something. Every time we have a corner now or a free kick, we get it. It seems like we're getting on end of it. It's not just about putting it in the right area, it's about the people in there, you know, attacking it and actually getting the red and ball. And we've seen people put the ball, you know, don't get me wrong, set pieces have been poor for a long time, but Longstaff isn't all of a sudden the only person who's ever got a decent ball in the box. But I think because it's more accurate now and it's more frequent, you know, I don't think he's hit that first man once in any of them. I think there was one against Bournemouth where he overhit it, but I think the rest of them have all been pretty much, you know, too far out for keeper to come for it, really, but still a nice area for people to attack it. And I think because it's so frequent and the lads are probably expecting now, I think there'll have been corners and free kicks forward. Lads are like, oh, fucking hell, not even going to beat first man here. But they probably didn't even feel like they get a chance. Whereas now I feel like the enthusiasm around them now, I mean, I'm at ground, I'm thinking there's a chance we'll score, this chance we'll get on end of this. And that's happening every game now. So, yeah, Longstaff, is it all magical or drastic? It feels it, but it is just beat your first man and don't have it too close to the keeper. So as players have got a chance to attack ball. Any footballer paid more than £1,000 a fucking week should be able to do that. You know what I mean? I've played 5-a-side for many years. I could do that. Not consistently, don't get me wrong, but I could hit a good ball into the box playing football. I could. When I played 11-side, I could hit the ball. I used to take corners. I can hit the ball into the box. As a professional footballer who plays does nothing but play football, and she'll be able to do it 9 times out of 10. And what you see now with Longstaff is a bit like when we have a keeper who makes a steady save. We're like, whoa, it's just nice to see such a basic drill, really, delivery into box from a set piece. It just feels so massive for us because we've been so poor at it for so long. But yeah, they've been brilliant, but they fucking should be. But it's nice to see we've got the right man taking them now because I feel the consistency's there, which we haven't had in a long time. And we're giving our players who are better in the air an opportunity to go get a goal, an opportunity to go be a difference maker. And now you're going to see, Strout get goals, Beal get goals if he plays. You're going to see Rodon get more goals. You've seen that, nearly 2 in 2. Where were that? Where's that come from? Stat gets in box, 6'6". You've got, more of a threat there, even if he's just occupying a defender for someone else to get in there. It's been a massive change and something you can definitely see, and they've worked on it. You can see the way they're setting up and the way the movement is in the box. You can see they're now working on it. Set piece coach or not, it's something we're targeting, and we should have been targeting it all along. And it's just good to see it's coming together now, where we now feel a threat. Matty, do you envisage Farker interchanges 2 top keepers week to week? No, Andy, I don't. I think Darlow plays. I think Darlow and Strauch, in my opinion, Darlow and Strauch are in the same boat. 2, I say decent. Perry's looked a bit shaky, I know, where Beal, who knows, because we haven't seen him, but both there'll be a lot of pressure, not even being put on Farker, but just he'll probably feel it, and it doesn't matter as long as the team's winning. But because we haven't got all the right jigsaw puzzles in my eyes in certain positions, especially up top. There's an argument, like I say, if we get to the end of the season and you've had players who accumulate a lot of money and not play many minutes, there's a conversation about, well, did we invest wisely? You need a squad though. You need options. Born out £5 million. People, it's 5 million wasted. Justin, 7 million wasted. It's not wasted because they might need to come in at some point. But I do think it'll come down to a point where, say we go to Burnley and we win, but we win 3-2. Say then we go to West Ham and we draw 2-2, and all of a sudden we're conceding a couple of goals every game, even if it's not Darlow or Strauch's fault entirely. I think it'll come down to a moment like that where it doesn't change, and in terms of we're still conceding, and there'll have to be maybe a personnel change just to freshen it up. So I think Darlow and Strauch, and not Darlow as much, but Strauch, I think 100% probably needs a clean sheet against Burnley, because I think another game where we concede, regardless of fault or no fault, they may look at Beal. I think Darlow's got a lot more rope to play with than Strauch, if I'm honest, because I think the player behind Darlow isn't as good as a player behind Strauch, in my opinion. I wouldn't be shocked if Perry got no minutes bar FA Cup games if we're staying there for a little. Honestly, I would not be shocked if Darlow stays fit, because I don't see any reason to drop Darlow. He'd have to do a catalogue of headers in a short space of time for me to not have faith in Darlow. Whereas Perry's look shaky, and I think it'll be to take Darlow out and put Perry in. All eyes are on Perry, and that's quite a big call. So I think Perry will struggle to get his shirt back, in my opinion. But that sounds wild. But is it? Is it really? Alice, DCL reminds me of the pure shithouse Will Grigg getting in good positions but missing. Alice, that's wild. That's wild. It might remind you of Will Grigg, but my God, I assume you taught he's levels above Will Grigg, mind. Levels above Will Grigg. Levels. Yeah. Levels. That's it's crazy. Hopefully, he just reminds you because he gets in good position to miss his chances. But my God, he's a way better player. That's far too scared to lose instead of trying to win. DCL works perfect with a partner, been proven over the years. Big worry to me as he's never been proven as lone strike but he's playing well. He's playing well, Colin. He's playing bloody brilliant. Not put a foot wrong bar, Chef Wednesday. This DCL, that's going to piss me off this season, because I really like him. I like him a bit too much, I think. Evening all, Everton, win, break, Palace, 19, unbeaten run, Grealish, first goal. Good for you, Rich. Yeah, if you make it extra special. There, you're doing well. Just goes to show how good our win on opening day was, Rich, against you guys. I think Everton will be in top 10 this season. To beat Palace is no mean feat. It's a class result for you today. I bet it will bouncing. The reason why DCL is at Leeds and not Barcelona, Liverpool, etc., is because he is injured more times than he is on the pitch. And also, he can't finish. Otherwise, he can finish, but not to the level that some people are expecting him to finish. I think the injuries are one thing, yeah, but I do think if he was great in every single area, he'd have had a move before the injuries crept in. But yeah, that as well, mate, that as well. Tell him, mate, I loved him a bit, but Bielsa has walked many of our fans' views of what a striker does. His first duty is to score, then comes all the rest. Yeah, I agree, mate, I agree. But because I like him, and he ain't scoring yet, but he's doing everything else, I'm going to fight that for a little bit longer. I think he's definitely got a fair few games yet. I mean, if he goes, I'll be expecting him to score it next two, at least one goal in next two with the opposition we're playing. But yeah, see how we go. He ain't playing poorly. He's missed a couple of chances anyway he should have put away, but he's also creating chances. He's also put one away at Wolves. He probably shouldn't have put away. Do you know what I mean? That's a goal where you go, wow, top draw that. Can't believe he scored that one. If you take that one out and give him one at ones he should have scored, he's only one or two shy there, isn't he? But I'm waffling. He'll be all right. Longstaff to me is our best summer signing, future captain. Yeah, I'd say so currently, mate. I think Longstaff's been outstanding. Really do. Having watched a couple of Spurs vlogs, They were over the moon beating Leeds. They didn't dismiss us like some fans does. That's but yeah. Well, I'd be surprised if they did. If they're not absolute morons, Andy, and they watched the game for what it was, we played really well. We played really well. They are good. They should be beating Leeds United, shouldn't they? Though they should be beating Leeds United. That kudos. What a player. What a player. Effect that you're not taking out our corners, mate. I've seen you and Alan by what a footy pitch. Class, love that, mate. Moshin, hey mate, good performances isn't getting us the points we deserve, but as the team gels more, the good performance will turn into points. Yeah, I like you said deserve, because I think we are getting the points for where we should be finishing or hope to be finishing. What's that mean? Chef Weds, what's that mean? When I said something about Sheffield Wednesday game, we got beat by him in Cup, didn't we? But yeah, good performances isn't getting us the points we deserve. Yeah, we should have more points. But I think we're doing okay. We're doing okay. We deserve more from what we've put in. But yeah, it's honestly, I'm actually quite surprised how negative it is. Not no, it's not being fucking awful, but it's quite negative. And you know, it's a very positive channel, apart from when I'm negative. But then it's you guys telling me to stop being negative. But I'm surprised. You don't think we should have beat Spurs, like, you know, and we should be on more than 8 points after 7 games as a newly promoted side who signed a couple of free transfers and spent 100 million on 10 players. Should we be on more points than 8 right now? You know, should we? Should we be way higher than 15th right now before we kicked the ball this season? When you'd have all took 17th before the start of the season. Yeah, mind blown. To be fair, my mind's blown a little bit. So as Pettit is fit, he'll be back in. He's Farker's number 1. I disagree with that top banana. Disagree. Yeah. Well, Darlow for that one. Yeah, it was. Yeah, and that was the one mistake he's made this season. Ian Brown, the closest Leeds fan. What happened at OT yesterday? Yeah. We already have a striker who does all the Bielsa things well. His name is Mecha. Yeah, I like Mecha as well. I like Mecha. DCL's better than Mecha though. But I like Mecha. Big Mecha fan. The season Bamford scored 17. He had Rafinha to his right. DCL has Harrison to his right. Great point there, Eddie. Great point, Mr. Eduardo. Philip Anderson, mate, you're going to get into some fallouts here if I stay on any longer. All right, Matty, mate, I'm still buzzing about the season. Sauce for the late join and smash the like for you, bro. Cheers, mate. I am loving it so. Yeah, Philip, I'm struggling a little bit on here tonight. There's a little bit of negativity creeping in. People not rating DCL. People saying we haven't got the points we should have. A few saying we haven't got the points we deserved, which I agree on that one. We should have. We've deserved more points than what we've got. But it's hard to be disappointed, Philip. It really is. You know, we're gutted after Fulham. Gutted for boys, really. And after Fulham, I was saying something similar to some today. You know, it's all right playing well, but if you don't win the game or get the points, it means nothing. If you go down playing well every week, it doesn't matter if you go down. I get all that. But like I'm seeing Leeds attack now. I'm seeing Farker, you know, give the license for people to attack, and we are ultimately going to let a few more goals in because we are playing that kind of football. But we're playing good stuff. It's hard for me to be too downbeat. If we were on 3 points, playing as well as we are, I would be downbeat. We're on 8 points in 7, above a point per game. Like, we're on for over 40 points currently, and we've had a tough run. We've had the 4th hardest starting fixtures due to the Opta index. Whether you believe in that shit or not, it's a fact in it. You can play harder teams than others. We've had a fucking hard. You look at the fixtures, and there's only one team in there we should be beating. It's Wolves, and we've won more than one game, haven't we? Got some draws in there too. But the only game we should win is Wolves, and we fucking smashed them. And we beat Everton, and we drew against Newcastle, and we drew against Bournemouth, and almost beat them. I don't know what more we can be doing. We're doing all right. Now, if we don't win it next 2, I'll be on here saying something similar, probably worse. But I think we win next 2. I think at the very minimum we get 4 points, and I'm fucking buzzing with that. But that's where you can judge us. See where we are after the next 2. And if it's gone Pete Tong, then we'll talk about it. But if it goes the way it should go, and we beat Burnley, and we beat West Ham, again, you look at who should we be beating? Burnley, West Ham and Wolves, and we fucking have. with a few points here and there too, and some great performances in games we lost. And if you lose a game of football, there's a way to lose a game of football. And it's we lads walking off with their heads held high because they played fucking good. And guess what? Bar our still every game we've lost or dropped points in, we've played fucking brilliant. And arguably better team. Arguably being the better team. When you're playing teams who are bringing on Brennan Johnson in the 90th minute, lads and lasses. When they're bringing on Kevin at Fulham. And we've got Aronson starting up right. There's a gulf there. But there ain't much a gulf in performance between two sides. There hasn't been. So let's get a bit more positivity. Let's live on the right side of life for now, because there's no reason to be on the wrong side of life. Not at the minute, not when it comes to Leeds United, because we're doing all right, we're doing some good stuff. And we're going to talk about players and say, I'm not too sure. And that's fine. You can have your reservations about, stuff going forward. But right now, we're 15th of season, then tomorrow we stay up, don't we? And we've got 2 games in a row against sides lower than us. We're 15th, bearing in mind. And there's 2 sides lower than us, and we're playing back-to-back. One away from home at Burnley. One of the easiest away games for us as a newly promoted side, because it's also a newly promoted side. Tough game, potentially. But as a newly promoted side, going to a newly promoted side, it's one of the easiest away. It's one of 2 of the easiest away games you'll play all season. And then we've got West Ham at home, which, let's be fair, we don't lose many games at home, and we don't look like we're going to lose many games at home. And they're one of the easiest teams for us to currently play at home. There's nothing to be downbeat about. Really isn't. Take care, Matty. Have a great and positive week. You too, all the best. You too, my mate. Tottenham, I still think 10th or 11th is where we finish this season. Love that, mate. Love that. What would you give for the Newcastle bank? Yeah, I don't say the cure one, but Rafinha, your boy right now. Yeah, mate. Ballers. You like the chins up. Get them up. Chins up. Chins up. Mate, like in your show, I think people get frustrated because he really should be on. But yeah, no, mate. Honestly, Telly, right? See, I've not seen him here before. If you're not a regular, smash a sub on it, mate, and come back again. Yeah. If we lose to Burnley, you'll see a different me. I'll just call out what I'm seeing now, and I get to almost every home game. I'm trying to get some away games. Sometimes I don't even rewatch the game. Sometimes you just have my view from being at the stadium, and sometimes it's way off compared to what you watch on TV, or you may go to a game too. But you know what I'm getting at. People have different views, whether they've listened on radio, watched the game in person, watched it on TV, just watched highlights, done all of it. We all have different opinions, but I walked away from that game feeling positive, and I still feel positive. If the Burnley result goes against us, it'll start turning again. 1-0 down at Wolves, I were there. And I said we need to beat Wolves. He's going to struggle his Farker, because guess what? We're probably not going to win the next 2. And I were right. If we'd have lost at Wolves, drawn against Bournemouth, and lost again against Tottenham, we'd be going into international break and people would be wanting Farker sacked. There would be, not me, but people would be wanting Farker sacked. And I said, if he don't win at Wolves, he may be looking at a sacking. And Philip's in here now, and I said that, Philip, and you disagreed with that, which is fine. But if we were 3 points less than we are now, we're on 5 points in 7, and we hadn't won since Everton, which if we hadn't beat Wolves, it would have been since Everton. We haven't won since opening day. It'd have a whole different look, and I'd have a different feel about it. But we come back and we win that game in superb style. And then we do brilliant against Bournemouth and are so unlucky. And then guess what? We do brilliant against Tottenham and we're so unlucky. So it's hard to be downbeat. But you may see me, Telly, if you come back and watch more. I reflect how that game's gone or that week's gone. And, it can go up and down. It can fluctuate. And Leeds United sort of dictates my life, because my mood's sort of dictated by how Leeds are doing. And the fact I'm upbeat and I'm chipper, it's because what I'm seeing, it's a group of lads that have got tons of effort, tons of endeavour. They're competitive. We're in every game at the minute, bar Arsenal. We're in all the games. And you know what? I actually think there's a bit more quality there than what Farker even said there is. I think there's a little bit more quality there than people give us credit for. I really do. Come on, lads. Get the likes up to 50. I'm 48 currently. Cheers, Mark. Yeah, please smash a like. Please smash a sub if you're new here. That'd be class. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Ryan, we'll be fine. I'd be concerned if we were like Southampton. Yeah, that's it. Last season, getting our pants pulled down every week. We are competitive in most games, exactly. In all games bar one, Ryan. 6 out of 7 competitive. And I tell you what, getting beat by Arsenal's It's not an embarrassment, is it? Even if you concede 5. 2 week, less weeks. Time to mull things over. I think Farker's 3 or 4 negative results away from a mood change. Not even 3 or 4 negative results, Andy. It doesn't even need a back-to-back, negative results. It turns, doesn't it? It turns. And I turn, if we get beat by Burnley and West Ham, if we get beat by them both or even drawn both, I'll be fuming. I'll be fuming with that. But right now, I don't foresee it happening because, I mean, if we don't win those games or we play, get fucking no points out of them games, then something's gone awry because we haven't played how we've been playing. Because if we play anything like this, we're beating both and beating well. I genuinely feel we can win both games 2 or 3-0. Both of them. Moshin, I am positive. I am saying we deserve more than we have. Performances have been good points. Yeah, I agree. Moshin. Yeah, I know that's what you're getting at, mate. DCL's doing well, in my opinion, says Angela. Everyone will be loving him when he scores goals. Also, lad knows how special it is to be. Yeah, honestly, Angela, bang on money. I think he's doing some really good stuff. Really good stuff. And nobody will be kicking himself more than what he'll be doing because he hasn't scored all the goals he'll feel he should score. He's probably scored, everybody's probably scored the hardest goal, the hardest chance he's had is the one he scored. That header at Wolves is probably the hardest chance he's had. So based on that, I back him to score more goals. But he'll be annoyed himself. Of course he will. He's a goal scorer. He's a striker. In his head, he's a goal scorer. Coming through levels as a kid, he'll score goals all his life. He's got to the top level, and it's a lot harder to score goals. But he's got it. He's got it. We've seen it. He's got it. We've seen it at Everton. Yeah, he can score goals. He should be getting double figures every season in Premier League if fit. And I think he'll do it at Leeds. JB Leeds, we are going down, mate, unfortunately. JB, you're entitled to your opinion. Honestly, anyone can have an opinion on here. I promise you. I'm not one of those who's going to argue with chat. We'll flash it out. We'll talk about it, right? But that's just such a negative mindset. Such a negative mindset because we are better currently, right now, after 7 games. We are better than Wolves. We've proved it. We're better than West Ham. We're better than Burnley. We're better than Brentford. And we're arguably better than a couple more. But that's 4 I've named you that 100% after 7 games, JB, we are better than. So currently, I would predict us at the worst finishing 16th. And you can't argue against that because they're below us currently. They're currently below us. I think we get 4 points off Scum. I think we get 6 off Sunderland. I think we get 4 in the next 2 games. It's hard to be negative because there's so many positives there. Why are we going down? Because we lost to Tottenham. We lost to Tottenham. Should be losing to Tottenham. We lost to Fulham. In London, we probably should be losing to Fulham. We lost again in London to Arsenal. We should be getting beat by Arsenal. Because guess what? We're newly promoted, guys. Has Farker not told you that enough? What we shouldn't be doing is going toe-to-toe with Newcastle. Going toe-to-toe with Bournemouth. Going toe-to-toe with Tottenham. And being very, very close to it being a totally opposite result. Very close. Fucking hell, minutes away from beating Bournemouth. Moments away from drawing against Fulham. Couple of chances, couple of deflections here, there, from beating Spurs. It'll come, guys. It'll fucking come. And if it don't come, I'll come on here and have a moan with us. But I'm optimistic it'll come. Spurs fans were saying they usually lose their last game before the national break. It is what it is, mate. We like giving people, we like breaking traditions, don't we? Loved all of that, my mate. You were absolute bang on, bro. Cheers, buddy. Cheers, mate. And we do clash, me and Philip. We clash quite a lot. Because when I'm slightly negative, you come for me. But I know you like saying this side of me, but I can only call how I feel at the moment, can't I? Yeah, cheers, buddy. Cheers, buddy. JB Strout cost us. He's not good enough. Nor is Tanaka, Gruev, DCL. He hasn't kicked on. He's missed every chance apart from one. Fair dues, mate. I think Tanaka's good enough. I think DCL's good enough. I think Strout's good enough. Gruev, sort of agree. I would be nervous watching Gruev start a game in Prem. Good enough to come on to see a game out if we need him for legs and energy, and he can play that role okay. But Gruev, I am a huge fan in the Prem. Big fan in Championship. I did like him, but again, yeah, I just don't agree. Man, that's fine though. It's not Farker's fault. It's the 49ers' fault. People say that though, but Farker wouldn't sign DCL. So if you don't like DCL, is that Farker's fault or what? But yeah, there is the course's fault for 49ers. But I tell you what, when we stay up and 17, 16, 15, 12, whatever it is, then what is the 49ers' fault? What is the fault? Because we'll have stayed up and we'll have done it, won't we? And right now we look like we're staying up. Honestly, I cannot fathom how anybody in the right mind is looking at, as a Leeds fan, is looking at us right now going, yeah, we're going down. I cannot fathom it. Mental. Completely agree to be positive now. We're going to have a lot of losses during. Of course we are. This is what does me head in, right? Someone will say, we'll finish 17th, right? Which means we'll lose 20 games of football. If we finish 17th and stay in the division, we'll lose 15 to 20 games of football. And we might not, and still don't go down. Like, to finish 17th sounds brilliant. Take it now, move on, great. There's a lot of down moments in scraping survival. Fucking loads. We had them when we stayed up, with that goal at Brentford a few years ago. Awful season. But the ultimate high at the end of it, which we may get this season. I hope it's a lot easier. But like, we're going to have moments where it's going to feel like it's end of world. But right now is not one of them, guys. Right now is not one of them. Life happy, get real. We're virgins in this league. Yeah, we are. Well, we are virgins in this league, aren't we? And we've got to earn the right to be an established club. Last 3 games come from behind, being 1 down and good seeing. Great point again, Eddie. Great point. Coming from behind, something that I have worried about. Having watched a few watch-alongs, I'm getting mixed messages from different vloggers. One major, one not on a long staff. Lover, Spurs players gliding past him. Yeah, I disagree. I thought it was decent yesterday. Not as good as he was at last 2, but still good. And not be funny again, Spurs players should glide past that. Some of our players sometimes did every Tottenham player run past Longstaff every time they got ball. No, they didn't. There were 2 times in that first half, especially where he chased back and did a slide tackle from behind, because we spoke about it in stadium, won the ball and started another attack for Leeds United. So there may have been 1 or 2 occasions where that happened. And guess what? There should be. We'll sign Longstaff for 12 million quid, rising to 15 if everything goes well. They've got Xavi Simons and, Paulinho and just players that are just way above our level. They should be able to get past the Longstaff once or twice a game. That should happen. And it maybe did. And if you're a negative fan or maybe don't like him too much, you'll hammer him for that. Just like you'll hammer DCL for missing a chance and ignore the fact it was a pre-assist for the goal. Ignore the fact he almost scored it with a class save by keeper. Ignore the fact he was the one that knocked down the ball to Pirro, that now people are saying Pirro should start because he had a shot on target and nearly got us a draw, which only happened because DCL knocked it down. Like, it's narratives, mate. It's narratives. Matty, can we stay up, mate? Only October and nerves have gone. Just want Pirro to start. I know you're a massive Pirro fan, Colin. But for Pirro to start, he has to start alongside DCL. Pirro to start over DCL is lunacy for me. And yeah, we can stay. We will stay up. Not Strout games yesterday. DCL needs Pirro to back him up for goals. Beal needs to start, and Justin over Bogle. Wild. If Pirro started up top with DCL, I'd have no complaints. I just don't know who you'd drop out. But no complaints if that's what really played. DCL will get sharper. He's doing everything else right. He is, Richard. In fairness, Spurs and Bournemouth both riding high in the league. I don't think they're false positions. Me neither. I think the argument say they'll both finish in top 6. Tottenham's not as wild as Bournemouth, but it could happen. In my opinion, we'll be okay this season. Farker is a man to keep us competitive and keep our head above water. Remember, 17th is the target. There you go, Emmett. 17th is the target. And to finish 17th, there'll be a lot of losses in there. Appreciate the debate, mate. It's all opinions. I'm just struggling. Maybe I'm used to championship winning. Ha. We can't be passing back in this league, though, mate. Tanaka just gives the ball away. 100% in terms of, I agree with that. Championship football, we are used to winning every week. What you've got to remember, JB, and this is a great point you need to remember. I'm not being patronising here at all. You're not daft, obviously. But just remember, championship, we're winning every week. You've got to win every week, because if you don't win, if you're first, second, third, all the sides around you are more often winning than not. So when we draw, sometimes it feels like, oh, fucking hell, they've won again, and the stretch, the gap. when we don't beat Tottenham, we've dropped down the division because guess what? We were higher than probably where we should be. So the teams in middle of the league will get points, but 15th, yeah, we could lose to Burnley and still stay 15th because the sides below us aren't going to win every week. That's the difference. That is the difference, and that's why I think we'll stay up. So there'll be games where we don't win and games we drop points. And you're so used to JB, the teams in and around us winning and as getting them creating a gap over us when that happens because we're competing with teams that win every week because we were winning every week at the top end of the championship. The bottom end of the Prem, that don't happen. We could go on a 4-match winless run, a 4-match, run of defeat, say, and still not be cut adrift, not cut adrift from people above us, or because that bottom 6, they're not going to win every week. There'll be a lot of points dropped, not just by us. So I think you've got to sort of look at that. And the sides below us now, I don't envisage getting more points than Leeds United. I just don't. DCL into finisher is a ban for 2.0. Pirro would finish most of his chances. DCL misses. You have to start Pirro. Yeah, I couldn't disagree more, mate, honestly. Pirro doesn't score that header. People say Pirro had put away DCL. We'll never know, will we? But for me, there's a massive argument to say Pirro wouldn't be in the positions currently to offer that. The goal that we scored, Okafor tapped in. Pirro doesn't bring that out on his foot and drop it to Aronson. He doesn't lay that off to Aronson to get the first shot off. He doesn't. As a lone striker in the Premier League, Pirro's not good enough. As one of 2, yeah, he'll score goals. Our only decent players, Bogle, Road and Stack, Longstaff and maybe Ampadu, that's it. You're going to slate Goodmanson for yesterday. Goodmanson's top draw as well. It baffles me how some Leeds fans say we are going down after a handful of games. We need to keep behind our team and keep positive, especially after how well they are playing. Yeah, Angela, I agree. Is it inconceivable Leeds get relegated? No, of course not. Of course it's not. It's more likely, before we kicked the ball this season, that Leeds go down and stay up. That was the narrative. The transfer window didn't help as well. But the way we're playing, use your eyes. Use your eyes. You cannot tell me you're watching a game of football and when you don't know what the result is because 90 minutes in up, bar Arsenal, you can't tell me I'm watching a game of football and thought we look good. Even if it's a 20-minute period of time more possession, more shots on goal, more expected goals, more passes, more higher passing accuracy, more aerial duels. We beat Tottenham in every single facet of the game by the scoreline. And I understand there's only one stat that matters. I ain't daft. I look it. I might be green, but I'm not cabbage looking. Or I might not be green, but I am cabbage looking, 1 or 2. I understand all that. But how can you not be enthused by that? Knowing that there's still 31 games to go, for the points to come, but the side look good. That's how I am. Emmett, Matty, on a lighter note, what is the best curry in Leeds? I love that I do, but coming up for the West Ham game, any suggestions? East in Pudsey. My favourite by far. Yeah, check it out, East in Pudsey. It's a little bit outside centre. It's Pudsey. I don't know if you know area at all, Emmett, but I would. Yeah, it's got a car park and stuff, so you can get parked up there. But East is lovely, really, really nice, buddy. So check that out. I'm not going to lie, I'm slightly disappointed. Pirro has quickly been benched, having had a good pre-season and won the bleep test. Good to see you all later. All these that we, Matty. Great chat again, Matty. Cheers, Top Banana. Take care, buddy. Have a good start to your week, mate. I'll be back on Tuesday for Bridging the Gap with Wayne from Only Fools and SAFC. It's on my channel. Leeds fan and a Sunderland fan going at it. Both losing this week, which is a rarity. I don't think it's happened so far this season. Spurs lost 22 games in the league last season and stayed up comfortably. Granted, I think the promoted teams are far better than the ones below Spurs. Yeah, of course, yeah, mate. How do you know, Matty? Pirro hasn't been given the chance, has he? No, mate, he hasn't. I can't say he has because he hasn't, had it. I just think the way we play and the way we build up, we'd have to play a totally different way for Pirro to get in the goals and get in the chances. And I just think the best way of playing for Leeds currently is the way we're playing. Going long at times, which is working. It's working. We can't go along with Pirlo. We've got to play out from the back more, which gives opportunity for teams to catch us out and win the ball back. We saw it at Arsenal, although we won't play them every week. When we play out from the back, it can be a bit shaky. Pirlo cannot hold the ball up, and Pirlo drops very deep and isn't in the box to put some of the chances away. I just think I've seen DCL play, and before I saw DCL play good games, Sean, I said before, I think Pirlo gets 10 goals if he plays every week, and he deserves a crack. And you could argue he's not had the crack he deserves, and I can go along with that. But I also don't think it's right to bring him in now just for that reason, because I think DCL's got more in every facet bar the finishing. Because no matter, even if DCL scored 15 goals this season, I'd still say I think Pirlo's a better finisher. Just in my opinion, I think Pirlo is a better goal scorer, better finisher, than DCL. But I don't think he offers enough for what we need right now. And it's still a gamble, because Pirlo might not score 10 plus goals either. There's nothing to prove he will. Yeah, we've seen that Calvert-Lewin can get double figures in Premier League because he's done it. And for me, he's playing at a level which is more impactful for the side than what I believe Pirlo can do for us. But if they can get Pirlo onto the pitch, which I believe, coming on, almost scored. He's done well. Pirlo's really good, Sean, at getting little minutes, but impacting the game when he comes on. We saw it when Joseph was starting over him. But let's be fair, Joseph was starting over him. Pirlo won his shirt back. I don't think Pirlo gets a chance to win his shirt back this season. I don't think he can do enough off a bench to jump Calvert-Lewin, to even jump Metcher, who, let's be fair, currently his third choice is Pirlo. I just don't think he'll get the opportunity, mate, in my opinion. Bengal Brasilia, Weatherby Award winning Curry, but 15 from Elland Road. I think we stay up. I predicted top 12, mate. I think all round DCL is better striker, but the player who's best at scoring goals is, he's a better finisher. But I don't think he'd get the opportunities to put them away. That's how I sort of see. Just to think last year, some were wanting Big Andrew's Leeds manager. Oh, sorry, man. Tickle me that one. Yeah, another one. Watching match at day, Wolves and Brentford look gone already. This is good for us. Of course it is, Colin. Of course it is. Right then, guys, I am done and dusted. I will be back on Tuesday for Bridging the Gap with Wayne Doran from Only Fools and SAFC. Please do us a solid. Please smash a like if you haven't done already. Please subscribe to the channel. Matty, did Saturday's referee have an influence on the outcome? It's hard to say no because he did so much wrong. But no, I'd say no. I think the quality Spurs have gives them the opportunity to have pop shots at goal, which ricochet and go wherever when you're about. Just think the quality they have, the fact that having Kudus on pitch made the difference. I think if Kudus don't play, they probably don't win that game and we get a 1-1 draw. I think that next level of quality was the difference. But I do think the referee was shocking. I thought we were any 50-50 they got. There were a couple of balls that they knocked out, but the miscontrol went out for throw-ins that never got given as throw-ins, and there were a lot of dodgy decisions, but nothing I don't think what actually led to a goal, if I'm honest. So no. Evening, Matty. Hey up, Rich. Evening. I'm off now, pal. Evening, Matty. DCL makes us better as a team. Pirlo a better finisher, but doesn't offer the team much. I agree, Rich. I mean, how many games did we see when Pirlo doesn't have an opportunity to score, Rich? How many times? And even the people that love Pirlo, he's gone missing today. Pirlo can't get Pirlo in game. We can say what we want about DCL, Rich. He missed a chance. We're never, ever going to say couldn't get DCL in game. Because you know why? Because we play long balls and he's always going to win them in air. So we will never say this season, put me neck on, we will never say we couldn't get DCL into game or DCL couldn't get into the game. But if Pirlo plays week in, week out, we will say the words, couldn't get Pirlo into game, Pirlo couldn't get into game. May miss chances, Pirlo may score chances, but he will be in every game, will DCL. He will make an impact in every game. And we have to back him to get the goals because he's getting the chances. And that's how I am. That's how I am on it. Ryan Cook, thanks again, Matty. Much love. All tuned in, all Leeds, aren't we? Yeah, Ryan. Thanks, buddy. Have we got on Sky to Moz? Nice one, Colin. Kunas, Matata. No worries, yeah, man. Sean Paul Hogan said the same. Yeah. Right then, guys, that's me done. Have a great start to your week. Monday, dreaded day, horrible. Pulling a fibre outside through some ductings. Not a great day. Hopefully, the weather's all right. If it's not, think about me because I'll be outside in rain all day. Wounded if it's bad weather. But take care. Love yous. Thanks so much for being here with me waffling on at nearly midnight. But yeah, thanks so much. Let me just get rid of that one sec. Take care, everybody. See you later. Bye-bye.